Brooklyn Independent Television.
Halloween is right around the corner, a time for ghouls, goblins, and vampires. But for kids returning to school, they're dealing with a different type of bloodsucker, head lice. Sherry Carabin introduces us to a superhero of sorts. She's known as the Lice Lady, a Brooklyn Jewish mother whose nitpicking is all in a day's work.
It's no shame to it. Everybody gets it at one time or another, and if they don't, they know someone who does.
Public health professional and Brooklyn private school nurse Mary Ellen Ostrander is talking about lice. It's a problem that many children have had or may experience. The most common sign is an itchy scalp, which may be noticed by a parent, teacher, or during a routine check at the child's school.
Massive checks, screenings, if you will, are being phased out. The public schools no longer do it. Private schools are moving in that direction. Traditionally, you'd call a class at a timeout, and typically most schools will hire someone to come in and physically go through the child's head section by section. But the problem with that, there's a lot of misdiagnosis. You really have to know how to identify the lice. And the best person to teach you that sometimes is the school nurse. The lice looks about 1/8 of an inch, usually tan or gray. Now the nit, the egg of the lice, is a little teeny weeny ball, could be white or gray, and then the farther it gets away from the head, which might mean it's dead, might be brown.
We use this comb. It's called the Niska comb, and it's a German-made comb. It's very, very good. Very precise. Gets at the little eggs very nicely.
Abigail Rosenfeld makes a career of spotting and eliminating lice. Known as a nitpicker, she had her first on-the-job training experience when she was a teenager.
When my sister was 13 years old, she had lice, and it fell into my lap. I had the patience to nitpick for hours. Then when I was married with my second child, the person who I lived on top of checked in schools, and I told her that if anyone needed help, I knew how to do it. I'd be happy to help them. So it basically grew from there.
Today, she has it down to a science, helping children and their parents on a daily basis and checking her own children as well.
See all those eggs?
In addition to using the special comb, do you also use a special shampoo?
Conditioner and baking soda. A good quality conditioner. It should be thick, preferably white, so you can see the eggs. And baking soda. The baking soda acts as an abrasive. It's gritty, so it helps get a grip on thicken the hair a little bit.
On this night, Brooklyn Review visited the home of Rosenfeld's teacher, who was busy working on her own clients, including a mother and her 2 sons, all of whom did not want to be identified.
One of my friends was looking through my hair, and he said that he found a bug. So I was wiggling my hair, and I found a bug that was on my pants, and it was moving around. So I went to the nurse, and she told me to call my mom. So I called my mom, and then for some reason we came here.
My mom told me that my brother had lice. She called one of the nitpickers, and we set up an appointment, and we went there, and first she just went through it once, and she could tell in that moment that we had a lot of lice.
So why would a parent come to you versus doing it themselves?
It's very, very tedious. People don't like bugs. You know, as you can see, children don't like to sit nicely for their parents.
Lice are primarily spread by head-to-head contact or by sharing hats, brushes, or clothes. Once they're removed, it's important to wash all combs, bedding, stuffed toys, and other items that you or your children may have come into contact with, as well as vacuuming couches and other surfaces. Items can also be bagged up for 2 weeks to allow the lice and their eggs to die.
You have to tell your friends because you can work very hard. You can spend hours cleaning out your kid, and then the kid goes back to the friend the next day, and the kid could be infested with it. And the kid could get it right back. So it's very important not to keep it a secret.
When is your busiest time?
Usually September. September I find kids are off of school for 2 months, and there's a lot of traveling, a lot of going to friends and family.
Although getting lice is far from a pleasant experience, there is no reason to be overly concerned about it since they are not known to carry diseases.
It's really not a health problem. It's a nuisance.
Bailey, you have to sit down like a big girl.
This is Sherry Carabin reporting for Brooklyn Review.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.